We back and hi train. Great timing. Welcome back to Watanagashi. We'll be continuing this this game tournament, but first I came up with a new theory kind of thing thanks to some commenter. Somebody commented on my very first video and it actually, obviously I responded, but when I was watching the video again, like in the background, I noticed something about the intro with the person smashing another person that I didn't notice before. It doesn't actually really help with any of my theories before, but it kind of makes, it's kind of its own thing, but apparently the person smashing the other person with the metal bat was like, you know, describing how much they cared about them. And that person said, "I loved patting your head." And there's only one person who pats people's heads. It's Rita. Rita smashed them, I think. I mean, yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, no one else patted anyone's head. I think it's only been Rita, unless she's, like, learned that after someone else. But I don't know who's being smashed. Maybe Teichi, because he always gets his head smashed, or Satoko. I think those two are the most... are the people who get their head patted the most, but I do think it's Rika, so that's interesting. Again, I don't know how it helps with the mystery at all, but it's a cool get. I'll keep that in mind. I don't know how someone as small as Rika is gonna actually be able to beat someone to death with a baseball bat, but yeah, I don't know. I was just happy to find that. I was super lucky. But yeah, so we're going back to the game tournament. Kind of jumped into it at the beginning. I guess Mion wants a grudge match against Keiichi for losing to him in poker. And we just did the group stages where each of the club members won their group. Keiichi struggled a little, but he was able to cut a deal with the two other kids to get them a date with Satoko and Rika if he wins. Or I think just in general. But yeah, so they all won, and now they're gonna be talking about how to do the finals or something. I think Mion's gonna explain it now, so enjoy. Just checking something. And the keyboard doesn't work again, as always. Mion's hair flowed elegantly, almost like a cape, as she turned her back to the table. Uh-oh. Just for not starting it right away. Maybe I'll raise the volume a bit. I think the voices were a little low. And of course, the combative aura billowing out of Mion's body formed a barrier, stopping Satoko's advance. With a shrill laugh, Mion left the store. After a moment's silence, the crowd erupted into cheers. When will they resume the contest? Mion's serious. The other members did great too. That new guy, Maibara, he taught some strange power. He turned the tables in an instant. Okay, so it is if we win. Don't worry, guys. We'll do it for you, boys. I'll dunk someone. Yes, let's dunk Mion. The part of the crowd that had apparently overheard the covenant between Tomita-kun, Okamura-kun, and myself erupted into a cheer again. got our own squad. Mion's going to win anyways. She's the undefeated Empress. I'm betting on Mion. No, it's going to be Rena, with that ungodly speed. Satoko, the trap artist. Rita, the siren. It may be a long shot, but it'll be Hybera. However, right now I had no ear for those cheerful voices. Setting the stage for this huge match and then running away like that, I wasn't going to forgive Mion. Outside of the store, Mion was getting on her bike as the shop owner was seeing her off. He's pumped. Oh. Somebody commented on that video. Look at that later. Oh, never mind, it went there. What? Oh. Lol. Okay. My bad. Huh? Like you would see in a sketch comedy show, my legs slipped in the opposite direction until I was doing the splits. That's why. Yeah, she works at this clothing, like with a lot of weird clothes, right? That's where everyone got their different school uniforms, I think. Or I guess Keiichi didn't get to that part yet. I think that was in a hint, but I might be wrong. I was a little surprised. You would never think that this was the club president exuding such a dark aura inside the store just a short time ago. It was the usual Mion right now, almost exasperatingly so. My shoulders slumped. All the tension's gone. That's right. Club mode was over now. But it was really heated today. It was really fun. Agreed. Damn, Mion, she really knows how to fire people up. Dude, everyone's just reading Keiichi's mind this chapter. Like last time they did it sometimes, but literally every time he thinks of something, they know what he's thinking. It's kind of weird, actually. How about we go to your shop? I don't know. Again. Apparently I was in Japan like almost during the Watanagashi festival, like if it was real, which is kind of spoopy. Didn't even notice that. Right now, what were Rita-chan and Mion talking about? Watanagashi festival. Cotton drifting 5 demon. What? Yes, more please. More clubs, less scary and sad stuff. She laughed with a smile that made you feel refreshed just looking at it. At that moment, the shop owner came out carrying a paper bag. I wonder what it is. Is he giving it to us? When Satoko and Rita-chan opened up the bag, there were cute little stuffed animals inside. It was a stuffed toy wearing a beautiful dress, one he'd used to play house. Rena's eyes were glued to my stuffed doll. Satoko was the same, and Rita-chan too? We got the good one, boys. I was gonna say, like a kind of a doll with a dress. Odd one. Oh, it has changeable clothes too. Mion didn't have to go that far. This wasn't something a guy like me should be carrying around. Mion was the only one who hadn't received a present, so I thought about giving it to her. However, after briefly considering, I gave it to Rena instead. What? Aw, Mion looked sad. Why didn't you give it to Mion? She didn't have a gift. Wow, what is it? Look at this picture, dude. She looks so sad. Come on, Keiichi. Kinda true. But look at her face. She was not happy about that. I don't know. I actually kind of like Keiichi as Mion, even though I like Rena better than Mion. Or I did, at least in the first chapter. It's weird, but it actually fits the best, I think. Oh. I mean, these CGs are not like the original thing, so I don't know if the author wanted to make it seem like she's just like bluffing or whatever, but she probably feels kind of sad. I remember Mion's laugh in the first one being like the weirdest thing ever. I can't tell if this is the same or not. Sounds kind of fake. Yikes, don't say that. Weird foreshadowing. Mion laughed after seeing such an ominous line. Everybody laughed heartily along with her. Mion-chan, if you don't get going soon, the shop owner told her immediately. The lot of us looked like we were having a lot of fun, so it must have been hard to put a wet blanket on things. Yeah, bye. Kinda wanna visit the shop, since we still have nothing to do, I think. Oops. I missed a line. Everybody waved their hands and watched as Mion left. Before I knew it, the sun was already setting and the breeze carried a hint of chill. True. Kinda. Probably is scarier in a smaller town. Okay, bye. The wind blew gently, as if to cool down those of us flushed with enthusiasm. The road back to Hinamizawa was long, but I didn't really mind. Trap Master. Kinda.
富田さんたちなんだかすっごく応援してましたけど何ですかしらね。富田と岡村に何か約束してましたです。きっと内緒話なのですよ。内緒話。なんだろうね。
Our secret's cute too, Rena. Desperately laughing, I frantically tried to avoid the subject. After that, everybody continued to praise each other for how they defeated their opponents and reflected on how fun today was. Satoko, getting even more excited, pointed, waiting where her finger indicated was an immense sunset, casting even longer shadows of us on our bikes. The cries of the Higurashi were gentle and very comforting. Boom, chapter end. Did I actually follow the chapter ends in the last read through? I feel like I didn't. Ah! Tips. Game Masters. Well, let's see the tips. Who's Mion Zunto? Mion put her hands together in apology and grinned. It's not the same though. The club locker was the trans-dimensional space from which Mion pulled games whenever he met for club activities. I wondered how many freaking games could be stored in the locker. It was even smaller than the one with the cleaning supplies in it. Besides those games, it was also a cornucopia of suspicious objects, costumes, for punishment games. If we lined them all up on the floor in order to sort them, they would definitely fill the entire classroom. Mion gave a hearty laugh, implying that the only one who could do so was the club president. Mion said, feeling about in her pocket. Do skirts have pockets? I mean, I wouldn't know, because I don't have any skirts. I feel like they don't. Or at least, I don't know, it might be different in Japan. In high school, girls wear these weird kilt things, and they looked weird. Judging by her expression, she must have planned on returning it, but it was still in her pocket. Great deductions, Satoko, as per usual. Diddling, Satoko and Rita-chan clapped their hands together in celebration. Oh, the slaps. Slap clap. Mion elbowed Satoko and Rita-chan in their heads and then headed for the teacher's lounge. So very droll of her. The two of them made disappointed faces. But Sadako looks fine in this image. Whatever anyone said, Mion's club was always the #1 thing I looked forward to when going to school. It wasn't hard to agree with their melancholic? I know the word, I just can't pronounce it. Expressions after hearing it wouldn't be happening today. Whenever Mion canceled club, it was usually because of her job. However, it also didn't seem like she went there every day. She would go 2 or 3 days in a row and then not go at all for a while. It sounded like a pretty damn random part-time job. Mion, wearing socks and a helmet, sweating to death in a factory. I couldn't imagine such a thing. That's nice. Oh, multiple uncles with their own shops. She has a lot of uncles who own shops? I thought it was just the one guy selling the clothes. A lot of them. That actually sounds kind of suspicious. Many really. I mean, okay. Big family. I mean, I have a huge family too, so I guess it's not too odd. And we gotta remember that Mion's family is kinda suspicious because they have a lot of political power. And Hinamisawa and might be leading them. I was dumbfounded. That's amazing. Yeah. I mean... Nice. Okay, a couple of weird things came up that time, but still. I could tell it was pretty extensive. I mean, it made sense if they're, again, really rich and powerful. Kind of mafia-esque. Or, not mafia. What's the Japanese one? Yakuza-esque. I don't think they are, right? Unless they... I think they might have talked about that. They kind of have Yakuza ties in one of the hints, but I don't actually really remember. Also Keiichi's sentence.
ミーに100億長者ゲームを借りたことをコロリと忘れてしまったら、リアルで100億長者ゲームをプレイさせたのだと凄まれましたのです。
Rita's face saying that too. Rita-chan being sold into the entertainment industry to pay off her debts. Oh crap, my nose. Okay, dude.
リアルに100億長者ゲームをプレイなんてなかなかに愉快そうですわね。
Huh? She doesn't really get it, does she? Yeah, too pure for this world. Recently, she seemed so unspoiled. Rita-chan and I gave her a pat on the head. Oh, I guess we do pat someone.
なぜ撫でられるんですの?
Unless we're beating Sadato to death with a bat in the beginning, which... Please don't.
さとこはいい子さんですから、なでなでなのです。
True. Satoko was lost in confusion, but she seemed to understand she was being made fun of. Okay. So... Mion has a lot of uncles, and a lot of them run very sketchy businesses. Good to know. Time, 26. And it's our coming back week. We'll play some more. I'm feeling it. Huh.
午後の授業ってさ、どうしてこう眠いんだろうね。
Mian spoke in a voice that went so far as to make whoever heard it lethargic.
眠いことに医学的説明が必要かよ。話してもいいが、もっと眠くなるぞ。
ああ、堪忍して。
It was almost 3 o'clock. 6th period was almost over. By the way, Satoko and everyone else in the lower grades ended their school day after 5th period, so they were probably running around in the schoolyard right now. I could hear their joy-filled voices coming from there right now. Oh, what I would give to be able to join them.
ほら、みーちゃんは委員長さんなんだから、もっと頑張らないと。寝ちゃダメだよ。
私さ、クラス委員長じゃなくて水泳部の部長がいいんだよ。
Watson's love. Guess she's, oh, I don't know the time skip, but she might be tired from the part-time job.
いっぱい寝れるから。
Really?
お？してその
Why? Does her knocked out?
水泳部なだけに睡眠グーなんちゃって。
That's a good pun. Bam. The teacher cackled as she hit the back of Mian's head with the corner of a touch foot.
お後がよろしいようで。
Hi, Chi. We haven't seen you in a while.
今日はこれくらいにしましょう。委員長、号令。
Look at Mian's face.
気をつけ。
Mian, who had been half asleep, became lively again the moment she heard the class was over. It must be delightful to be that shrewd. Homeroom was done after the lower grades had finished their lessons, so we were free to go. It was one of the odd rules we had as a mixed grade school. When they knew class was over, Satoko and Rika-chan returned to the classroom.
お疲れ様なのです。さあ、楽しい部活の時間ですわよ。
Happy fun club activities.
よっしゃ。そうだね。
Still have a score to settle. What? Aren't we gonna do the finals?
ねえみーちゃん、今日は昨日のイベントの続きに
Yeah.
ならないの？そうそう、そうですわ。あれだけ大盛り上がりして尻切れトンボでは納得がいきませんのよ。まあまあ、気持ちはわかるけど、またの機会にしようよ。
Aww.
放課後の教室なんてしみったれたロケーションじゃなくて、もっと晴れの舞台でさ。
Yes, that's true.
俺はいつでもいいけどな。決勝戦は わせる約束になってる。あらかじめ日取りを決めてほしいぜ。
Got our own army. I couldn't help but watch as Rena entered her pinning maiden mode. With us, I don't know what that is. I'm gonna Google that because I have no idea what that could even mean. Saturine?
Saccharin.
Saccharin. Excessively sweet or sentimental. And it's also a medical product. With a saccharine Kichi brand smile, I ruffled Rena's hair roughly. Aww. Rena turned bright red and short-circuited, smoke billowing from both of her ears. Gazing into her eyes, a strange scene of me holding hands with Rena and skipping through a flower bed was reflected there. Even if it was somebody else's imagination, it was terribly troubling. That's cute. When Rika-chan said that, everybody burst out laughing at once. She's so powerful. Mion leered with the gaze befitting of a club president. No, befitting of an empress. The mood in the room became more lively. It was as good as a moment as any to get started. What are we doing today, boys? Mion let out a small interjection as she rummaged through the so-called club locker. Every time I look, there's always a ton of things crammed in there. Everything that's jammed in that locker is a game of some kind, you know? On top of that, things used for penalty games like cat ears and collars were kept in there. The capacity of that thing is unfathomable. That's like my favorite word. Or one of them. Unfathomable. Even though I'm not saying it right. That locker, maybe it's actually extended through the wall into the fourth dimension. That's my theories anyways. If not that, then how else could you explain how someone could pull out item after item? After Mian touched her hand to her chin briefly and thought, she turned around without pulling out any games. Rena and I both expressed our agreement. I feel the same way. With this group, there's no doubt even if we were pulling weeds from the school grounds, it would be fun. See, everybody knows what he's thinking of, and these are such like specific thoughts. How can you read them? Yo, is this like some foreshadowing that everyone can just like somehow read Keiichi's mind? Because I feel like some of this is hard to read through expressions. I think that might just be his character. He's very, he shows his thoughts on his face a lot. I don't know, we'll have to see more.
すぐわかっちゃうんだよ。
I've always been told that, but ever since I transferred, it seemed like it's been especially bad. I need to develop a poker face, or I could be in for a rough time. Here we go. Battle time. We all immediately cut the idle chatter and put on stern expressions. In no time at all, everybody's gaze focused like a tiger or a shark, listening intently. That's right. From the point where the rules are explained, the match has already begun.
今日のゲームは割とパーティーゲームでは知られてるやつなんですね。シンパシーって言うんだけど、聞い
Sympathy.
たことある人いる？
I have not. Sympathy? It means to share someone's feelings, right? Kinda? Not really. Isn't sympathy to feel bad for somebody? Kudo. Feelings of pity or sorrow for someone else's misfortune, understanding between people, common feelings. Okay, so Keiichi was right. So I was thinking of the first definition. Maybe I know this.
それひょっとしてお題目を決めてみんなで連想する言葉を書いて同じ答えを書いた人が多ければ多いほど得点っていうゲームかな。
Oh.
だったらレナ知ってるよ。
That actually sounds like a fun game. Ah, I remember. Never played it before, but sounds fun. And I recall playing a game like that in grade school while we were on the bus during a field trip.
知らないゲームでしたよ。説明してほしいですよね。
まずね、親がお題目を決めるんだよ。例えば、デザートっていうお題目を決めたとして。さとこはデザートって言われたら、真っ先に何を思いつくかな？
そうですわね。例えばプリンとか。
オッケー。だったらさとこは手元のメモにプリンで全員で一斉の背で答えを公開し合う。で、プリンって書いた人が2人以上いれば得点。いればいるほど高得点だから、全員が同じ答えだったら最大5点入るわけ。
Okay.
つまりみんなと同じ答えになるように考えるのがコツなのです。
It was exactly as Richard-chan said. The point of this game was to think in a way so that you have the same answer as everybody else. For example, even if you heard the word dessert and immediately thought of strawberry sundae, if your answer doesn't match up with everybody else, you don't get any points. That's why you have to hold off on that answer and change to one that seems like everybody else would choose. The key becomes not what you think yourself, but being able to predict what everybody else will answer. It's a very high level intellectual game.
みー、さとこのために一回だけ練習をしてみましょうです。
オッケー。親は部長である私でいいよね。お題目を何か適当に。
Taking out her literature textbook, she began flipping to a random page.
一回だけ練習戦ね。最初のお題目はかき氷。
Lime. Because that's, I like lime shaped ice. I actually don't really like shaped ice. But I have like lime and like blueberry. And I think I like lime better.
かき氷って言ったら決まってるよね。
I don't know. Oh, I had like pink milk or whatever at like an Asian place. But that was sakura milk, I think. Among the standard flavors of shave ice, there's strawberry, melon, and blue Hawaii. Okay, maybe I had the blue Hawaii, not blueberry. It was blue though. The most popular amongst those is obviously melon. Well, we would lose.
みんな書いた？じゃあ一斉に公開するよ。いっせーのせ。
3 strawberries, 1 melon, and I think Sadako said Ujin Toki. What? I'm the only one with melon?
お前らイチゴなんてスタンダードがつまんねえの選ぶなよな。おいレナ、かき氷でイチゴなんか頼むかよ。夏祭りで一番早く売り切れるのはメロンって決まってるんだぜ。
レナもメロン味は好きだよ。でもやっぱりいちご味だよね。よね。
ケイちゃん、確かに私も選ぶならメロンにするよ。だけどね、これは連想ゲームだよ。かき氷って言ったらまず人はイチゴでしょ。
I thought of lime. I'm still not entirely convinced, but in any case, it's this type of game.
リカのは何て書いてありますの？それかき氷で
Oh, that was Rika saying it. Thought it was Satoko.
宇治金時です。
Ujin Toki.
たまらない美味しさなのですよ。
Well, it might be delicious, sure, but it's not exactly run of the mill. Still, that's a pretty refined choice.
さとこ、これで大体わかったかな。
Well, she got the right answer.
仲間が3人いるから3点獲得。この調子で点を競っていくわけ。
Makes sense.
わかりましたわ。それよりミオさん、今日の罰ゲームは何にしますですか？
Uh-oh.
やっぱりあるんだね。何かな？何かな？
何にしようかね。ケイちゃん、何か提案ある？
え、罰ゲーム？そうだな。小学校の頃罰ゲームってのがあったら、やっぱりあれだよな。
Slapping? Never heard of it.
つまり負けた人が全員の荷物を持たせる。
Okay, that's not that bad.
男子がよくやってるね。全身ランドセルだらけにして歩いてる小学生よく見るし。
でもどうするの？さとこちゃんとリカちゃんのお家は私たちとは逆方向だよ。
じゃあ1位の荷物をビリが家まで運んであげるでいいんじゃない？全員の荷物の宅配だと
Okay.
結構いい距離になっちゃうしね。
That'd be cool. If we're the loser, we get to actually go to someone's house. Might be interesting. If I had to predict, it'd be like going to Mion's house since this is Mion's chapter. I think last chapter we went to Rena's house, but it kind of just skipped through it. And it kind of just described how there's stuff everywhere in the lawn and stuff. It's kind of disappointing. I'd like to see what Rena's house looks like. And maybe meet her parents, since I don't think they ever even talked about her parents, or if she lives alone.
それくらいならいい。
I don't think she lives alone, by the way.
なんだか今日の罰ゲームは簡単ですわね。この程度の罰ゲームではケイチさんにやらせても面白くありませんわ。
What?
じゃあもうちょっとレベルアップしようかね。
Huh.
ただ荷物運びをするだけじゃなく、じゃあこれを着て荷物運びをしてもらうというのはどうかな？
No. Dressed up in what? Never mind, I don't want to lose anymore.
なぜにメイ
A
ド
maid outfit. Oh! Oh no, I might have spoiled. I might have spoiled on who's trying to lose. Well, I'm not gonna say who I think is trying to lose, but hopefully I didn't spoil it, because I do know one of the characters dresses in a maid outfit. I think it's in my YouTube banner, but it might be in one of my update videos.
でもでも、ケイチさんが負けた場合はどうしますの？
Tight fit.
ケイチさんに着れるサイズがなければ。
そこは抜かりないよ。ケイちゃん用にちゃんと
Oh my god.
してあるもんね。さあケイちゃん、覚悟はいい？メイドコスさせて外を練り歩かせて。カチューシャからそりゃもう何から何まで全部揃って
Even the underwear. Just in case. This is bad, Keiichi Maibara. Somehow, it becomes a situation where only my failure results in an overly cruel price to pay. What if I make a mistake and lose? I wouldn't be able to walk around in broad daylight anymore. Sometimes you just gotta do it, boy. Oh, ma'am. About that Maibara boy. Did you hear about him? It seems like he has a penchant for cross-dressing. Oh my, really? That'd be so embarrassing, you know? Oh, ho, 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 ho. Well, now we definitely don't want to lose this. That's just incredibly brutal. If we're to return this penalty to some semblance of normalcy, now's the only time. Everybody, I think we should refrain from this unwholesome penalty game. Why on the way back home from school do we have to be accompanied by a girl wearing a maid uniform and carrying our baggage? Having them say master while dragging them around the village in such an embarrassing outfit? Wait, why am I panting? What is this? This feeling welling up inside me. I mean, if you win, though, I guess it's pretty good for you. Boom! Burning with passion, I firmly place my hands on Rena's shoulders. There we go. Keiichi has unlocked his true potential. It's time to win. I turn to everybody with an idiotic grin, my pearly whites flashing with a brilliant gleam. From Mion to Rika, everybody energetically thrusts their fists up high. Only Rena seems somewhat undecided, standing there looking flustered. She's a little bit slow, isn't she? If she wins even for Rena, it's quite a delectable opportunity. Oh, there we go. But I don't know if you should have done that. I don't know if cute mode would actually help in this game. Rena began spouting a fountain of blood from her nose. The look in her eye completely changed. She shifted into cute mode. I was waiting for this, Rena. That look in her eyes. Here we go. Alright, let's play along too. Even though we probably won't get any points. Mian opened up her textbook to a random page and read out a word that caught her eye. Beach. This is yet another quite abstract keyword. Well then, let's not worry about it too much and start something with something like this. I think beach is pretty good for summer vacation. On Mian's sit-out, everybody simultaneously held up what they wrote. Let's see, what did everybody write? Never mind. I guess, yeah, the summer festival. We don't have festivals, really. Fireworks? Not really for us. I mean, some days, I guess. But they're usually for holidays. And mosquito coils. I mean, if I'm camping or at the cottage, yeah, but I don't really think about that. What the Taichi foot? I like the mosquito coil, because I actually use those sometimes. The citrus ones.
なのです。
Where's Taichi's though?
夏休みまでもうすぐだね。今年の夏はどうやって過ごすかな。
Not killing each other would be nice. Invigorating words that invoke the image of summer break. Certainly things that enrich the soul. As everybody approaches the soon-to-come end of summer break, a plethora of dreams should be etched upon their thoughts.
ところでケイチさんの答えは何ですか？
Yeah, why didn't we say ours?
早く見せなさいでございますわ。
俺のは大した答えじゃ。
What, swimsuits?
見せるのがルールなんだから。ほら。
やめろよ。見るな。
But he right! Homework. Why? What? The room went silent. Nobody could really follow up that response. It's as if my impertinent answer had somehow sullied the wonderful dreams of the coming summer break.
ケイチ君の夏休みって楽しくなかったんだね。
I don't think I've ever gotten homework during summer. Except if you actually go to summer school.
大丈夫ですよ。今年の夏はみんなで過ごしましょうです。
Cheering
ケイチ
Kichi
を
up.
一人ぼっちにはしませんですよ。
Feels bummy, man. Rita-chan gently petted my head. Stop it, Rita. Don't beat me with a bat. What exactly does summer break mean to me? Summer courses? Observing sunflowers? Practice exams? Special summer focus seminars? I feel like, wait, are there good beaches in Japan? I don't know, man. I feel like beaches is actually a pretty good answer. I'd probably get some points if I was playing with like friends or family. I knew nothing of hot summers because I've always been in an air-conditioned cram school. Ugh, the tears, they...
ケイちゃんの夏休み、
uh,
灰色だったんだね。
you look sad, dude.
そんな哀れみの目で俺を見るんじゃね
The game called Sympathy may be more terrifying than I could ever imagine. And they're all showing sympathy to him.
まあ
Oh,
とにかく
oh, back to
私
normal.
とレナは2点獲得ね。続けていくよ。次は魚。
Salmon. Has to be salmon for us since we're in Canada, but I'm thinking tuna probably for, I think tuna's the right answer. I'm actually just gonna go with tuna. I don't know how big salmon is in Japan, but salmon is pretty good in Canada. It's really fresh, like it might be even fresher than in Japan. Then there's like bass and trout for lake fishing. So it's fish, come to think about it. I haven't eaten sushi in a while. By the way, rather than the lean tuna, I'm quite the connoisseur on things like flounder. I wonder who I'll match this with this answer. Because for a Japanese person, anyone would think of this. Is it tuna? I don't know.
え。
When I think of Japanese sushi, I think tuna.
今度は俺から公開するぜ。いっせーの、せ。
Sushi. How's that? Why would you answer sushi? Oh, we're gonna lose. When you see a lively fish, do you want to steam it or grill it? No, to have fresh sashimi is the epitome of cuisine. Rather than write sashimi, however, I'll choose a more amiable term in sushi. That's my cunning ploy. But contrary to the intrepid resolve of my reply, everybody's expression was listless. I mean, it's not the worst answer, but when you hear fish, you usually think of the type of fish, not what you can make out of it.
そうだよね。お魚って
Poor KG, we're maid. We're trying to dress up as a maid, huh?
お寿司は美味しいもんね。
Oh my god, this is great. I forgot how fun these club scenes can be since, you know, we did all this spooky stuff for such a long time.
そんな道場っぽく言うな。
じゃあ残る
dolphin. Whale? Okay, never mind. I mean, whale's not even a fish, it's a mammal. And Sadato and Rika got a point, so we're actually in last place now. And dolphin's a mammal too, right? I might be wrong about that though. No, we're gonna lose! Aquarium's actually pretty good. I can actually see that, but I don't know. I think of the name of a fish when I hear fish. Dude, this is a good game. I'm gonna write this down for like family gatherings or something. Are whales cute, Rena? I don't know if whales are cute. Just for Rena standards, they would be. Everyone at Tsunami stopped and stared blankly as their thoughts drifted over the horizon. It seems as if they can hear the roar of the open sea from over there. Keiichi, you need to awaken again. Make the comeback after being cornered. Thanks, Rena. I mean, I did too, technically, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. What a horrid game this is today. As the game piles on and on, it seems as if I will be further exposed as a petty human. Now it's almost impossible for us to get first place though, but we can probably come back still. I'm the only one who still hasn't earned any points. I want to at least get a point in the next round. Blossoms or trees. Blossoms for sure. Come on. This is easy points. Damn it. This time I'll do it. Keep your cool, my Keiichi Maibara. Don't think what you would normally think. Everybody else here is a girl. That's true. Stop thinking like a man. If you write down Sakura Mochi here, you'll only be repeating the tragedies of the past. Throw away that gastrocentric male sensibility. Just for now, think of yourself as a girl. You are a girl. You are a girl. I am a girl. This time it's perfect. I've completely suppressed my own instincts. This time I will have a match. No, I will make it match. Ah, it's over. Rena and Rika diddled together. I actually think I had Sakura Mochi on my chip. Kind of forgot about it though. Hanami. I don't even know what that is. Doodle? Education? Hanami. Oh, it's the actual tradition of watching it, I think. RIP. Mion and Sadako's response was Hanami. Hanami, seriously?
お花見なんてさっき期待をさらす親父イベントの定番だろうが
Oh, Mion is an old man.
なんで今頃になってあっさり女の子な答えを放棄するんだよ
じゃあ何ケイちゃん。あんたどんな女の子の答えを書いたわけよ。
なんでもないよ次行こう次
Before I knew it, Rita-chan had circled behind me and intently reading the memo I had hidden behind my back.
口紅って書いてあるんです。
True? I actually have like a little cardcaptor Sakura bag. Not that I haven't actually watched it, but I think I got it from like a mystery box. It's just like hanging on my coat stand somewhere. Except, you know, all the coats are covering it, so I can't actually see it. But yeah, card map. Is it a cardcaptor Sakura? I think. Good choice. It became dead quiet. Then abrupt silence enveloped the room. It would be fine if somebody at least laughed at me or played it off as something dumb, but nobody even flinched. Come on, Reddit, isn't that cute? The feeling in the pit of my stomach reached critical mass, causing my once blood-drained face to flush with a sudden wave of heat.
ささ
No voice acting? Sakura can only mean Card Master Sakura, can't it? It's a super popular anime that broadcasts every week on the government-run networks. It's broken through every demographic, from little girls to grown men. You've seen it, haven't you? No, you've definitely seen it. Even I've seen it.
いやそんな力説しなくてもよく知ってるよ。
Such a weird answer. So maybe they're not using the voice lines because it's kind of like a copyright thing. I know about it. It's that thingy where she fights in different costumes every week, right?
うん。知ってる知ってる。
Yep. It's cute, isn't it? Rena sometimes browses through it at the magazine stand to keep up with the story. I saw it for the first time recently. Sakura is cool and she's so cheerful all the time. I like the girl who's always filming with the camcorder. It's not just popular with little girls, it's also surprisingly well received by older boys, isn't it? To think that Kei-chan was one of those. I felt like I had inadvertently blurted out something unnecessary and had completely self-destructed, but that wasn't the main problem. So you all know it, don't you? Then why didn't you write it down? Sakura means Sakura Kinomoto. Sakura-tan. Card Master Sakura is the right answer. Pump? Mion finally put her hand on my shoulder.
ケイちゃん、今確信したわ。ケイちゃんは骨の部位
Aww.
親父なんだよ。
It's alright, Keiichi.
強制不能なくらい。
なんでみんなそんな同情的な目で見るんだ
It is sympathy.
そんなことないよケイチくん。さあ頑張ろう。ここから大逆転だよ。
Your true power.
親父なケイチさんに逆転などありえませんわ。
We have to store in such a weird way. Like, now we definitely can come first, but I feel like score off different people in multiple rounds, maybe we can not be last.
おとなしく今日の罰ゲームをおくらいなさいませ。
We still haven't seen a Keiichi sprite, though I kind of know what he looks like. But I want to see it. Made Keiichi. Let's go. What was today's penalty game again?
メイドさん衣装、カチューシャ、ミニソックス付きで1位の人の荷物を運ぶのですよ。
我が部の部員ならこの絶対不利を覆してごらん。さあ続けていくよ。
chapter break? Am I gonna have to leave you guys on a cliffhanger? Well, maybe I was wrong. I thought it was gonna be Sadato who loses, or Satoko. Because I think in my banner I have her as a maid. But let me check, maybe it was in here. Yep, she's a maid. I guess we're a maid, Keiichi, maybe that's another time. Anyways, I'm gonna end it here. We hit the hour and 5 mark, but I'm probably gonna record shortly after today and just finish up my Higurashi schedule. Then tomorrow I'll probably start with my secondary visual novel, the Habanero Pepper route. So thanks for watching as always. This was super fun. Love the club activities. And yeah, not much to say here. Learned some interesting stuff about Mion, I guess. Her family, her sketchy ass family. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in 2 days if you're watching this in current time. If not, then I'll see you in a couple minutes if you're watching this consecutively. Anyways, I'll see you sometime. Bye!